Hey, welcome to Movie Zone. This video is the recap of 2016 horror thriller film, Don't Breathe. Without further ado, let's get into the video. The movie starts with Rocky, Alex, and Money, three Detroit friends, burgling a home of the rich owners. They begin grabbing the most luxurious things they can get their hands on. As Alex turns off the security system, he throws a rock, breaking the glass door, and they escape from there. Rocky and her younger sister, Diddy, live with their brutal and abusive mother, Ginger, and her boyfriend Trevor. She assures her little sister that soon she will find a way to start up their new life. In California, Alex lives with his active police father, who works double shifts at the neighborhood police station and never shows up at home. He looks for wealthy victims for theft using his father's computer connections. Money receives a tip about a man living in a residence with over $300,000 in cash hidden away from one of his connections, based on news reports. The man is an Army veteran who now lives alone as a consequence of his daughter's death in a vehicle accident. Rocky supports the plan that it might be the final theft they ever have to carry out, but Alex doesn't seem on board. She eventually convinces him to join since he has a crush on her, despite the fact that she is with Money. The three attempted the robbery that evening. Rocky got a new tattoo of a ladybird on her wrist, which Alex notices. She explains that back when she was a child, her father abandoned the family and her mother blamed her. She would break down when getting locked in the trunk. A ladybird once flew into the trunk and stayed there with her. She claims that after having it colored in California, she won't ever mark her body another time. The three discover the man is blind while stalking his home, which is in a slum area and the only occupied home on the street, as every other residence has been condemned. Alex feels that robbing a blind man is wrong, but Money responds that just because a person is blind doesn't make them a saint. Then the man's deadly Rottweiler dog attacks the car door, startling the friends. They proceed to the man's residence. Money gives the dog something to chew on to make it pass out so they can enter the house safely. Rocky enters first and turns off the security system through a small bathroom window. Money makes fun of Alex for having a crush on Rocky. While they wait for her, she comes back and unlocks the back door when Money ascends. He sees the blind man sleeping in front of the TV. As he stands up, the blind man hears a noise. He immediately switches off the TV and falls back to sleep. To make sure that the man won't hear anything, Money gasses into the room. Three of them discover a locked basement door. They expect to discover the man's stockpile here. The blind man is forced to descend to the ground floor as Money begins to smash down the door, before deciding to draw a gun on the man. Money begins talking and declares that he doesn't want trouble. Money raises the gun to the face of the blind man. As he moves forward a little distance, the man quietly approaches and takes the revolver out of Money's grasp, locking him against the wall. Money is questioned by the blind man over their number in the residence for theft. He claims that he is the only one there and begs the blind man to let him go. The man loosens his grip, but then shoots him in the neck and skull. Rocky hides in a cupboard as he dumps Money's body. On the ground, a safe storing his money is opened by the man once he arrives. As he goes away, Rocky notices the code to 1978. After the blind man begins to lock all the doors and windows, Alex tries to find Rocky. They decide that all they need to do is sneak through the basement and exit through the cellar door. Rocky first unlocks the safe and places all the cash in her purse. They move towards the basement, but the man comes out. He grips Money's gun while the two remain silent when someone's phone rings. He quickly fires a shot. The man drags Money's corpse outside as Rocky and Alex go downstairs. Rocky gets caught off guard by a woman who is chained to the wall in the basement before the woman holds out a newspaper item. Rocky and Alex are terrified and on the verge of walking away. In the meantime, the blind man finds out there's more burglars in his house. Then the man becomes upset after realizing the safe was empty. He hears a bell noise from basement, which is tied to Cindy. It is revealed that Cindy is the person who accidentally killed the blind man's daughter and was tortured by the blind man. She is let free by Rocky and Alex, who then take her to the cellar entrance. He unlocked it, but the blind man was already there with the gun pointing at them. Cindy is accidentally killed as the man shoots and hits her in the face. The man learns that he shot Cindy as Rocky and Alex are hiding. He sobs and screams in anger over her dead body. Alex decides to try to get back to the front door after taking the man's keys. The blind man shuts off the lights in the basement, leaving everyone in complete darkness as he and Rocky make their way back upstairs. As the man fires the rifle, Rocky and Alex search for one another when she heard Alex calling her name. Rocky was about to touch the blind man. Alex is caught by the blind man, who tries to shoot Alex, but his weapon is empty. He is caught when Alex lowers a shelf on him. Rocky and he sprint upstairs. Alex uses a crowbar to prevent the door from opening. When he and Rocky attempt to enter the door, they discover that the dog has awakened and is prepared to attack. They lock themselves from the dog in a room. While Rocky escapes through a pipe, the dog jumps over Alex. He is thrown out of the window and falls on a glass. He hits the ground as the man shoots the glass. Sadly, the blind man emerged from the cellar and now threatens Alex. He seems to stab him with garden shears, while repeatedly punching him in the face. He drags Rocky from the pipe and knocks her out by punching her in the face. Rocky awakens enslaved in the same place as Cindy in the basement. She reminds the blind man that his daughter won't return if he does this. That's not completely true, he claims. He would have released Cindy after she gave birth to his child, when he impregnated her in order to give him a kid to make up for the one she killed. He considers Rocky responsible for the death of Cindy and his unborn child. He preserves Cindy's body by adding cement into a container, then placing it under the basement. He rips a hole in Rocky's pants and takes a bastard that is loaded with a sample of his semen. He gets ready to conceive Rocky, but fortunately Alex got up and seized a hammer. He frees Rocky by giving the blind man an attack to the head. The man is handcuffed to a pole after kicking him aggressively. She forces the bastard down his mouth, since the man could easily inform the police that Rocky and Alex broke in. They left him stranded and decided not to call the police, but to go back upstairs to exit. The blind man has risen up when they open the main door, and he shoots Alex to death. Just as the man opens the door for the dog, Rocky dashes out. Rocky tries to get inside Money's car before the dog catches her as she races back there, but she leaves her luggage outside. Rocky tries to trap the dog inside the trunk by opening it so she can escape. She goes outside to collect the money when her plan works out, but the blind man appears and knocks Rocky down a second time. Rocky is dragged by the blind man back to his residence to complete what he has to do. She gets a burst of optimism and confidence when a ladybird flies onto her palm. Rocky snatches the key to activate the alarm, which causes the man to become distracted. She seizes the crowbar and repeatedly hits the blind man over his head until he tumbles into the cellar and gets shot in the side by his gun before the cops arrive. Rocky takes the money and escapes from the house. Rocky and Diddy have been waiting to begin their new lives. At the Detroit airport, the blind man was discovered alive. Only two robbers were believed to have broken into his home, and he had slain both of them, according to a news broadcast Rocky later saw on television. When Rocky starts to feel uneasy, she takes Diddy with her and never looks back.